Mrs. Bennet, however, with the assistance of her 5 daughters, could ask on the subject, was sufficient to draw from her husband any satisfaction. But he eluded the skill of them all, and they were at last obliged to accept the second-hand intelligence of their neighbour, Lady Lucas. Her report was highly favourable. Sir William had been delighted with him.
Hey guys, welcome to the House of Valentina. Clearly I am hanging out by the fire today because it is so dreary and so cold outside, and sitting by the fire just, oh my gosh, it just warms my soul. So Landon and I actually took our little ottomans and brought a little table and just had our lunch right here, and I enjoyed it so much that I brought my coffee back to this spot because I'm just enjoying it so much. Today we're doing something a little bit different, and I just thought that it would be really fun to take you along. So we are gonna visit our local antique slash flea market kind of place. It's called Queen of Hearts, and I really love going there because, as you guys have probably realized from watching my channel, I love to be able to create these kind of spaces that have this kind of collected, I wouldn't say thrifted, it's just, you want a collected look. At least that's what I want. And I want it to feel like it's a treasure trove, and you can't help but just linger as you go through the rooms. So one of my favorite things to do is to go to an antique market. I love going to flea markets, thrift stores. I love all those places to find these beautiful, unique things that maybe somebody has passed forward and it's your turn to have it. And I just, I love it. And I haven't been doing it as much lately, and I just thought, I just miss it. And I was on the hunt for a piece for a client, so all those things came together just perfectly. So that's what we're gonna do today. But before we run off, I have to tell you, I am so excited about our video sponsor because it's Audible. I cannot believe that I have not already owned an account with them. I mean, they offer you a free trial membership. You can even have a premium membership. You can take advantage of thousands of titles, not just books, there's podcasts, there's all kinds of incredible content and titles. I have always been an avid reader. I actually worked in a bookstore when I was younger. I just love literature. I love to consume books. Oh my gosh, you guys see them all over my house. But sometimes if I'm in the car or if I'm taking a bath, it's really nice to have another option to be able to consume this incredible content that exists in this world, and to be able to listen to Pride and Prejudice while I make my coffee and while I take a bath. And it's just changed everything for me because now I'm addicted to this, and I'm making my own little playlist and starting to look at all the things that I'll be able to enjoy in these coming days, whether I'm in the car, whether I'm sitting in my computer and I'm creating a mood board for a client, I'm on the road going to visit them. The options are so limitless, and I'm like, why didn't I do this before? So in order to get a free trial with Audible for yourself, visit audible.com/Valentina or text Valentina to 500/500. And what I love about it is that I was in the mood for Jane Austen today because I'm in this romantic, cozy, by the fire kind of mood. I'm sipping my coffee all day long. But there are other days when I want something that is fiery and passionate. I want something that's gonna drive me and wake me up. And there is something there for every single day of the week, and I love that. I think it's so cool. So make sure that you go to audible.com/Valentina or text Valentina to 500/500, and you will be able to start checking it out. Let's hit the road, guys. Let's go ahead to the antique slash flea market and see what we can find, and I'll share my tips and tricks with you as to what I'm looking for and all that great stuff. So let's go. Today we're visiting Antiques and Interiors. This is a Queen of Hearts location, and this is a really fun store because they really have a mix of antiques and vintage items, but they also allow their vendors to have handmade items, and they can also have some newer items if they would like. There's a certain percentage. So places like this can be really fun to come to if you're looking for unique items for your home that you may not find in some of the bigger box stores. I think that these places can also be extremely overwhelming. This store is huge. So today I want to share some of my tips with you as you shop through the store, just as I go through it myself, some of the things that I do to help myself not feel completely overwhelmed, and to also find those great little things that I just really end up loving. They end up becoming something that is usually a signature piece in my home. And like even here, you can see where I'm looking at some of the cutting boards. I've got a few clients that I'm shopping for a lot of times when I go to a store like this. And so sometimes I may pass on an item because I know that that client is just absolutely not going to pay that price. And then other times I might grab something because it's just perfect for them. The other things that I think that you should do as you go through this store is just avoid some of the things that, even though they are super cute, you just don't need. That's really, really tempting to just see so many things that are cool and fun and just to want to take it all home. I mean, some of these furniture pieces are just drop dead gorgeous, but I don't necessarily have a place for a piece like that. And again, here you see this great accessory. Do I really need another vase? I probably don't, but maybe one of my clients does. I always bring a measuring tape with me. You can see all these great furniture pieces in here, and it's a little bit crazy when you get in here and you find a piece and you realize that you don't know where it's gonna go, if it's gonna fit, all those kinds of things. So carrying a measuring tape with you is huge. Here you can see I'm really scanning this shelf and really trying to look at all the items individually rather than just this big, massive clutter. A lot of times these spaces, everything is just really jumbled together, and you really need to think through each item and how it would look if it was separated from the other ones. Like, for instance, this really cool shell. It has this really great vintage look, and I just love that they had turned it into a candle. But for $39, this was not an item that one of my thrifty clients was going to splash out on. But this might be something that you would like maybe for your home, and I love that kind of warmth and patina that it really offers. And here you can see where I'm just really looking over each of the items, looking over the entire area, and just trying to see if there's something that would really fit my space or one of my clients' spaces. Sometimes it can be really tempting when you see things displayed in a very cute way to imagine them suddenly appearing in your own home, and then you get home and you realize, okay, it doesn't quite look the same in my own house. So I really like to take my time and think through, how is this going to look in my space or my client's space, just to be sure that it's going to be a good fit, because most stores like this don't allow returns. So that can be a little bit overwhelming when you realize that it's a final sale, and if it doesn't work, you're stuck with it. I really loved the patina on these jars. I'm always on the hunt for items that have a lot of warmth and texture. A lot of times I think about the scale of the items, if they're gonna be a good fit for the space. Are they big enough? Are they too big? I'm really thinking through all the little details of what makes an item just right for my own home. At this store, it's divided up by vendors, so I typically have a few vendors that I like to go and check out. I feel like I always find something really great at certain ones, like this beautiful mirror. Oh my goodness, like if I had the right spot for it, I would have just brought it home with me. I thought it was so beautiful. But it just goes back to, I don't really have a place for that, and I'm not that in love with it. I'm definitely not above, like if I see something that I cannot live without and I have no idea where it's gonna go, I'm just gonna buy it because I know that I will find a spot for it. The other thing that I've noticed is that a lot of times these items are painted already, and the color that they're painted may not work for the space that I needed to go into. And so I've actually started to think a little bit more fourth dimensionally here. Hey, you know, I can actually take this, even though somebody's already painted it, I may be able to take it home and paint it again with my own color and really customize this piece. So I might check out the price and decide, is it really worth it to me? Or maybe this is something that I might pass on. Here you can see we're looking at all of the florals. And of course, am I looking at the florals? Oh no, I'm looking at the planter. Okay, so $85 for a planter like this. I know to some that's going to seem really expensive, to others that'll seem really affordable, but in the end, can I buy that piece somewhere else? Can I find it somewhere else? Is this going to be the best price for this look? Those are the kinds of questions that I like to ask myself. I also like to look at this little box is really cool. I like to also think through the safety of an item. Is it possible that this could have lead paint? Is it something that I need to be concerned about? I like to really think a lot about these purchases, again, because they're permanent, and I want to make sure that they're going to be a good fit. And here you can see they've got some really cool magnifying glasses. I love these, and I think they'd be really neat just set down on a big book on a coffee table. And so, you know, sometimes you don't go in thinking about a certain item, but you spot something that's like, oh, this would be great here. And it may just be the perfect item that you just need to grab. Other times, and most of the time, I try to go into the store with at least a little bit of an idea of what I want, because otherwise I just get sucked in, I get distracted, I get overwhelmed. So if you take a list with you, then it's a little bit easier knowing, okay, I've got a certain area that I'm looking for, I've brought my measurements, and I am prepared that if I find the right item, I'm gonna know and it's gonna be the perfect fit. The other thing you can do is kind of play your vendors against each other, because this vendor had these cheese boards. They were actually a little bit more than the other vendor. And so you can really just kind of shop around, even within the greater store, and see if maybe something's gonna be a little bit cheaper from one vendor to another. One of my other favorite tips is that I like to ask for a discount. A lot of people don't realize that in a store like this, you can actually ask for a discount even off the ticketed price. So if a price is a little too high, do not be deterred. I found an amazing piece for my client while I was here, and we asked for a discount, and lo and behold, we got one. Well, that was a total blast. I hope that you guys had as much fun as I did. I realized afterwards that I probably should have taken a little bit slower pan of some things. I promise I'll get better at this. If you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, let me know, because I go to antique markets, flea markets, estate sales, thrift stores. I go to those kind of places all the time. And if you're interested in seeing where I look and how I find things and that kind of stuff, just let me know down in the comment section. So that way I'll make a little bit more content like that for you guys. Yes, I did find a piece for my client, and she loved it. The other piece that I had found for myself so much that she ended up keeping that as well. So if you haven't hit subscribe already, make sure you do, because you're gonna get to see what we found and where it ended up. And one of the things that I did bring home for myself are the fireplace matches. That has that very Parisian look to it. And I just think it's really fun to light the fire with just some cool matches. And the Parisians, they always stick them up on the fireplace, or at least my friends always did. And I just think that's just charming. So that's one find I can share with you for today, and the rest you will have to stay tuned for. And oh my gosh, that makeover is going to be so epic. I cannot wait to share it. So I'm gonna go and start editing that one so I can get it out to you as quickly as possible, because it's kind of changed my life. So yeah, based off of Charleston, giving out hints, I'm so naughty. Yeah, It's pretty amazing. So I can't wait to share that with you. Thank you again for joining us, and I will see you in the next one. I gotta get some coffee. Anybody else need some coffee? I need some coffee. I'll see you guys later. Bye.